I'm on the 17th here at Hope Island. It's the signature hole. It's a par 3 and it's a 195 metre water carry from the back. And with me is renowned golf journalist Bruce Young. Bruce, welcome to Golf Getaway.
Welcome to the Gold Coast.
Thank you very much. Now listen, you got an interesting story because you weren't always a golf journalist, were you?
No, I started my involvement in golf as a young kid wanting to be a very good player, and I soon realised in my late teens that maybe that wasn't going to be the case. So I had an opportunity to caddy in a professional tournament in Dunedin in New Zealand.
Dunedin?
Dunedin.
That's where I'm from.
You're kidding me.
We're from the same town.
Absolutely. And a family friend, John Lister, who was a very successful player through the 70s and 80s in Australia and New Zealand and in the United States. I got the opportunity to caddy for him, and that gave me the bug to a large extent, and I thought, how can I take this to another level? Well, a couple of years later, I caddied for Jumbo Ozaki, the Japanese superstar, really, who won his very first tournament and only tournament outside of Japan when he won the New Zealand PGA Championship at Mount Maunganui in 1972. I decided I'd come to Australia and caddy in a few events, and at the end of 72, I made the decision, really, a bit of a punt to some extent, because in those days it wasn't fashionable and nobody was doing it, but I thought I'd go to Europe and caddy. So I went to Europe, caddied for Bob Shearer for much of that year, and at the end of that year, just by a strange set of circumstances, I had the opportunity to caddy for Graham Marsh, the Australian player, at the then Piccadilly World Match Play. Well, he reached the final, was beaten in the final at the 4th extra hole by Gary Player, the longest ever final in that event, and really that set me on the road to an ongoing relationship, working relationship with Graham Marsh, but it also allowed me to get involved in caddying at a greater level as well.
And what does it take to be a great caddy?
I think you just have to be the person that your player wants you to be. Some players want you to do a lot more than others, yardages, reading greens, clubs, and other players would be just happy if you did exactly what they wanted them to do, just to make sure you're there on time and just do a very tidy, efficient job. So it varies very much from player to player, and I've really probably had the good fortune to caddy for maybe 5 or 6 very good players, and all of them are different in their requirements. But as long as you're doing the job that they want you to do, then you are a good caddy.
And are you allowed to go in the clubhouse afterwards with them nowadays, or do you have
nowadays
to clean the clubs?
but in yesteryear, especially in Europe, they were very touchy about that. It took a long time for professionals to even get in the clubhouse in Europe many, many years ago, but then it took a while for caddies to get in the clubhouse. But things have changed. It's become a lot more professional and moneyed profession now than was the case back then. But really it allowed me to do the things that I wanted to do, to get exposed to international golf and to see it at a level that I would never have otherwise been able to see it. And it's really allowed me to go on and do what I'm doing now.
So you got inside the ropes and now you share that through your journalism?
Yeah, well, I ended up working for Graham Marsh's design company for 10 years, and then I started to get some commentary opportunities, a couple in Europe and a few other places. And just after 10 years with Graham's design company, marketing his design company, I made the decision that I really wanted to get involved in golf-related media. So I set out 15 years ago without any journalistic background, and now I'm writing for websites, magazines, do quite a bit of radio work and the occasional bit of television work, and some emceeing work too, mainly golf-related.
Great journey.
It's fabulous. I love what I do.
Right, well, it's customary on Golf Getaway. We have a nearest the pin. Beautiful hole, this one. Do you want to give it a crack?
But you have a go first.
All right, let's see how we go.
Online, but is it up?
Oh, that's a long shot, Bruce. Might just get inside mine, I reckon. Well, Bruce, bit of a rarity. We both came up short.
Well, we wouldn't be the first people to come up short on this hole, Andrew. It's a very demanding par 3, but a beautiful hole.
Tell you what, if you can sink this, I'll give you the win.
I think if I sink this, I'll deserve it.
And run it up. Oh, a little short, mate. Bruce, thanks for coming on Golf Getaway. Much appreciated.
Pleasure, Andrew. Great to have you on the Gold Coast.